The unknown mechanic and I have been installing a mini split today. So we have our conduit with 240 volt line mounted up there. We have our refrigerant control wire and drain wire mounted here. And we made a sleeve out of, I believe it's 0.8 gauge or 80 mil landfill liner, very heavy stuff. And so that's about 7.5 inches going through the wall there to protect the wires and keep outside moisture from getting inside. So anyway, we need to put a head on that and bend these hoses over this way, where they will come over here and around this corner over and connect up into here, where I think you can see the valves in there. And then the conduit comes over this way here. And so we got out the heat gun and made a little S pipe there, and then brought the conduit over here to the fuse box. And so it's not connected up yet. And then it goes up with waterproof PVC flex conduit and over there. So that's not officially connected yet. It still needs the control wire to go to it. So we're moving along very nicely here with the installation out here. And this particular unit is a 24,000 BTU ductless air. And it's a nice clean installation. The unknown mechanic welded up and made his own mount brackets and offset it from the wall there, so it should be nice and quiet inside. It has rubber feet on the bottom for further noise isolation. And then this here is the inside wall unit, and that's a pretty good size unit. It's not quite 4 feet wide, but it's a 24,000 BTU unit, and our pipes are in the wall straight out from there. So this will heat this entire living space. It's got an upstairs and 13 or how tall the ceilings? 16?
13.6.
13.6 total. So what we'll do is we might put a couple of ceiling fans up there to better circulate the heat in this tall room. And then we have this here bathroom is in motion. You might remember this from before. That's where the shower is going to be. That's where the throne goes. There's the sink. Oh, what's that? The fan switch, another light, and then a fan blower. And this area here will be the kitchen. There's new PEX piping, ABS coming up to the sink. This side here is where the stove and all that good stuff will go. And then we have a little dining office, whatever you want to use this room space for, in there. So things are going good. And then the unknown mechanic was busy framing in this ceiling here, which doubles the size of the upstairs bedroom. See, that was the original bedroom there, and now there is more bedroom space over here. So things are coming along very nicely. Okay, that's it for now. Stay tuned to this channel for more information on how to install a mini split and remodel a barn apartment. All right, you see here we are just about to flare the ends on our refrigerant tubing. This here's a 1/2-inch line going to the low pressure valve, and that is a 1/4-inch line going to the high pressure valve. And so what we will do is the cap here these two caps come off, and there's an Allen key inside of those that you unscrew, and that opens up the valves, releasing the refrigerant inside into the line. And here is a cap that goes over a Schrader valve, and that is what we are going to do first, is connect a vacuum pump to that, which there's the vacuum pump there and a gauge. And so we will vacuum down the lines there and we'll have the vacuum run for at least 15 minutes, and then we will leave the gauge connected, and where's the stupid nail there? That's why I take off the horse fence here. I'm using the wrong hand to do this though. Okay. So what we have done is we have our covering conduit for the refrigerant lines running along the house here, and we've got them mounted up there, trying to be as neat and clean as possible. This here is the drain hose for the condensation from inside. So we have this accordion flex going around the corner, and it comes over here. So unfortunately, we did not have the weatherhead for the system where the pipes go in the wall to the indoor unit. So we used a 2-inch LB corner, an electrical corner, and it worked out perfectly. It's about the same size dimensions as the weatherhead that comes with these white pipes. It was $29 and does the job, and that way we didn't have to wait for 2 weeks for it to show up in the mail, UPS or whatever. So we've got it clamped down here nicely, very solid. Then we have our disconnect here. The disconnect has a couple of fuses inside the pullout. And it has 10 gauge wire on a 30 amp breaker. And so it comes from the breaker panel over to here. Then we ran some conduit across. Brought it down the wall here, and presto, we have everything installed. We do have to finish the installation though. Up there, the wires aren't connected into the unit yet, and I need to bring this signal wire. This supplies the electrical and the signal to control the unit. Okay, so let me finish this up here, and I'll show you the steps along the way. Unfortunately, I need 2 hands to be able to do this, but basically you have your flaring tool here, and it flares the copper tube. Make sure you put the flare nut on first before you flare, otherwise you'll have to cut off the flare and do it again. Okay, so let me get this and I will show you when I start to vacuum down the system. Okay, so we vacuumed it down for about half an hour maybe, and the gauge is holding right there. I guess, what is it, 25 or something like that. So anyway, we want it to hold that for 15 minutes to make sure that the lines are good. But we've got our electricals connected. We've got our flare fittings, our hoses, pipes cut and fitted. There's the power cutoff. There's our drain pipe goes down. There's another drain pipe that goes onto that little fitting there. We just need to hook it up. And then the rest of the pipe here, and it has a little bit of a downward slope to facilitate the condensate to go downhill. And then the power wire up above. So everything is all nicely closed up in conduit. Okay, so about 15 minutes and then we'll see where our vacuum gauge is. So we vacuumed down the line and we decided that the vacuum was not holding. And so we got an air line with 20 pounds pressure and blew into the gauge to pressurize the system up to 20 psi. We then got some soap and water and sprayed it on the fittings and discovered that the large fitting just above my hand's on it now, was leaking a little bit. So we tightened down the flare nut on that and that stopped the leak. Everything else was fine after that, so we retested and got a better vacuum, minus 28.5 psi, and that held for half an hour, so we decided that we were good to go. One thing we did note is that the tubing in this kit is thinner than what we would have liked. Other mini splits that we've installed, for instance, from Gree or Pioneer, have had thicker tubing for their refrigeration. So just a note there, the pipes did deform a little bit from the flaring tool, and the tubing from the other manufacturers did not deform. So just something to keep in mind. So what do we got here? Our gauge is holding very nicely at 28.5 negative. So we have a good vacuum here that's held for half an hour now, and we're ready to begin
charging the system.
Have you got the Allen keys? Should be in the kit.
I didn't see any Allen keys.
Well, I have some. I imagine they're metric, huh?
Yeah. Need a crescent wrench too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we pull the caps off here. Oh, well, that one came off. I realize it's not a wrench, but okay, it won't do it. So anyway, we have our waterproof fittings here. Waterproof flexible PVC conduit. And this here is the control and power wires from the main unit going to the wall unit. There's our vacuum pump. It's done its job, so we don't need this on anymore.
Okay, what do you want to start with, metric or standard?
Well, I need a crescent wrench too. Think so?
Those shouldn't be on too tight, but they are. One was tight and one was loose.
Right. Okay. Which one's what?
Metrics are these. With the two here.
Everything else has been standard.
Okay.
So let's see if we got lucky. All right.
So you're gonna open the one you like first.
We're going to open up the high pressure side, and that will fill out the
Whole system.
tubing, the whole system.
Tight, huh?
Okay.
I heard it.
So you see the gauge charging here. $80. 100. 120. 150. 160.
Whoa.
And this is the R412.
Something like that, yeah.
It operates at high pressure. 180. 90.
You hanging with the guys?
200.
He's hanging with the guys.
Okay. So let's
Oh,
bleeding.
vacuum?
Yeah, bleeding out the, letting the refrigerant bleed through.
Oh,
Okay.
you haven't opened it yet.
No.
You're gonna put the cap on first.
And so now we'll open this one. That's the low pressure side, so we're just going to open that
Well,
up.
that was just a little bit of refrigeration bleeding air out, or
Yep.
bleeding out that. If there might be some impurities. Are those back set valves?
Yeah.
Okay. Now you put the caps on.
Okay.
You want the gasket things?
Yeah, it,
Here's one.
yeah.
Would this one work as a gasket thing? Because it's got the flare on it.
I don't know, because it's open though.
Yeah. Doesn't fit in there anyway.
I don't know. Are we sure that these came off of there?
I don't know where they came from.
Yeah, it won't go on there anyway.
Okay. Well, I would say if we put these on, since those are back set valves.
Yeah, they don't need it.
Yeah.
That's this one. And the Schrader valve, that won't need it. And finally, ugh.
Okay, so the
Ready to turn it on?
okay, well we can. You want to do these now?
Yeah, go ahead.
That didn't feel right. Well, I guess it is. What's it hitting on?
I don't know.
Seems like it should go in further than that. Well, I guess that's pretty good. Yeah. They had grease on them, so.
No. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Fuse block is active. You stick it in one way, it's off. Stick it in the other way, it's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you flip it. I'm gonna go turn on the breaker.
Yeah.
And I got the remote right here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's blowing.
Is it?
It's on 79 degrees, so
Yeah. Oh, that's a good breeze.
Okay, there's 70. Now, is it? How do you tell what mode it's in? Mode is
Look
right
for the
there.
like snowflake. Is that a snow?
Yeah, it looks like a snowflake.
Yeah, so that should be the cooling one.
I gotta get my glasses on. I can't see it.
Oh.
Well, it went back to 79.
Well, that might just be what it is in here.
Okay, there's the snowflake right there.
Oh, you feel that?
Yeah.
Instant cold.
The unit outside hasn't started yet.
Yeah, and it's already cold. That thing is moving quite a bit of air.
It's a big unit.
Yeah.
Think how much heat that's gonna put.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that moves a lot of air. Did the thing fire up yet?
No. Oh, it's still, it went back to 79. I'm not sure that's recirc. There's the snowflake right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so snowflake. And it's at 70.
I said it's 70.
Yeah.
See what I did while you was.
Yeah.
All I need, I guess I'm gonna have to grind it down and put some tape on it now.
Mm-hmm.
That's turbo.
You hear kick on out there?
Did you?
Yeah.
Not on.
No? Oh, well, something just kicked on in there.
Well, I mean, I think it should be coming on myself.
Should, yes.
It doesn't have a reset or anything, does it? I think that's kind of odd, don't you?
Yeah, I'd give it a few minutes.
Maybe I'll turn it down some more.
It's on.
It's on?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice and quiet.
Quiet. Is it? How is it? It's not blowing very hard. Oh, there we go.
That's the compressor and fan.
I don't think Nina's is this loud.
Well, this one's big.
Yeah.
Not as big as the one in the cabin.
Same size. 24,000.
Okay. Sweet. Okay, so there you go.
That's still running?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can hear a slight hum in the wall inside. I wonder if these are enough insulation.
How thick are the ones that they supplied?
They're thinner than that, but they're soft.
Huh.
Come on in.
Yeah.
It gets getting cold.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That is cold.
It's damn cold. I don't think it needs to be down to 70.
Well, I mean, it's going to maintain 70.
Well, it hasn't brought it down to 70.
No, but once it hits 70, then it will be less cold. So yeah, well, cool. There you go. That is the installation of a mini split. And there you can kind of see the size of the room here. High ceiling is 13 feet or something.
This unit was bought for its heating ability.
Mm-hmm.
This room generally doesn't get very hot anyway.
No, or cold. It's very, very well insulated. Okay. So there you go. That was
Very nice.
easy installation of a mini split. You saw it right here.
Yeah, it still hasn't settled down, but it's probably not going to.
Is it sloping right or left?
It's sloping. I think it's an 1/8 inch high on that side. Yeah, it's an 1/8 inch high right there.
Yeah, 'cause it looks like it has a water pump in it.
Huh?
It looks like it has a water pump in it.
A
So
water pump?
yeah,
To do what?
to facilitate getting rid of the condensation. Yeah, kicked
Did
up.
you hear it just kick in some more?
Yeah, just kicked that. Well, yeah, I can feel cold
I
air.
wonder, I'm gonna turn the turbo off.
That is a cold breeze.
And it seems to wanna go back up to 79.
Well, I think that it's just, well, yeah, I don't know. I'm wondering if it's just saying what the temperature is. Oh, boy. All right. So, yeah. So we got it installed. It's working pretty darned awesome, I gotta say. 24,000 BTUs.